5 years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before. GabNet needs you. Yes, GabNet needs you to call our live programs and be a part of the citizen panels. It's the most innovative talk format yet because it's not just one caller, it's a group of callers interacting with the hosts at the same time. Here's how you do it. It's simple. First, download Skype at skype.com. To install it, answer 4 simple questions: first name, last name, email address, and your choice of ID. Then launch Skype, go to Add Contacts, type in GabNet Live, and ask to be made a contact. Then you're ready to be on the citizen panel. If you're too lazy, well, you can always call on the phone at 347-352-0079. That's 347-352-0079. For all the information and a call button for Skype, log on to gabnet.net. At the bottom of the page, you'll find a video on how to call us and how to use GabNet. It couldn't be easier. It couldn't be more fun and exciting. We're new. We're different. But we need you to call. So for crying out loud, call or we'll kill this dog. Don't worry, Fluffy. They won't let you die. I'm not kidding. Call or Fluffy gets it. Oopsie. Talk like you've never heard it before is now talk like you've never seen it before. Alex Bennett's Ramble is now in video. Log on to Alex's Facebook page at facebook.com/abennett every Tuesday through Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern and experience the citizen panel like never before. We put a face to people like Phil, Patrick, Renee, Kevin, Tony, Jeff, Bree, Brian, and all of our regulars. And Alex is there too in his PJs. Just be glad he isn't naked. You can be one of those people who gets seen and not just heard by calling into Skype. For more information on how to Skype us, just go to gabnet.net. You can dress any way you want, provided it's decent. GabNet is now not just talk and not just a pretty face. So why don't you add yours? Reasons why you tune into GabNet. Here's reason number 9. Great celebrity guests.
So how many years is this now with Teller?
43, and that's 43 continuous. You can try to say Keith Richards and Mick Jagger go longer, but they take 3, 4, 5 years off. You know, even when they're together, they take the time off. Continuous, you know, no more than 2 weeks working apart, I think.
Wow. And
like being waterboarded for 43 years.
GabNet. Reasons to listen every day. Log on to gabnet.net for more. GabNet. It's talk like you've never heard it before. Five years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hello, everybody. How are you? I'm Alex Bennett, and this is it's a test ramble, is what we'd like to call it. Yes, a test ramble. Oh man, my tooth's bothering me. Just a mess. I said I was going to take tonight off, and I am taking tonight off. We're not putting this up on the audio of us. So, you know, it's, you know, but I was fooling around today, and I went to another computer's. You know, last night we had what I would call a major clusterfuck going on here. And let me see here. I got to make sure we're on and going. No, we're not. Let me see here. Are we going? Are we on? Yes, we are. Okay. We had a major clusterfuck going on here last night. First of all, my new machine, and it's really not that new. I got it on eBay. It went bad. It just completely screwed up on us. and I have no idea what was wrong with it or anything like that. I can get into that in just a little bit. But anyway, so it just, it really screwed with me. And I had to somehow get a show on the air. And so how we got a show on the air was I'm trying to put myself online here. Excuse me, I'm a little punchy because I am punchy. So what happened was where do I see? That's how punchy I am. That's why I'm not putting this show on the audio version, and this one I'm probably not going to post. I'm just really out of it. But anyway, so let me get back to what I was saying. So I had to use the other machine, which is the PC. And the PC, I don't know, didn't have the power to do what I needed it to do. And I barely had my old Mac working just to do some rudimentary stuff, so I couldn't use it last night. I'm using it tonight. And, oh, here comes Phil early. Okay. Let me just see if we can get Phil up here. Let me see. Are you there, Phil? We lost Phil. We lost him. Oh, well, where'd he go? Okay. Phil, the call ended in 5 seconds. Who knows what that was about? Anyway, so oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Is he gonna? There we go. I'm there, Phil. I'm explaining what happened last night. Hold on a second. Let me give you a picture here so that people can see the lovely and attractive Phil Meyer, who always comes to my rescue. By the way, if you want to call and let us test this out, you're more than welcome to. Here's Phil. There we go. Okay, Phil. Anyway, I'm telling you the story about what happened last night as best I can in my stupor with my tooth hurting, and it's a mess. Anyway, so it just wasn't a machine, I don't think, that had the power to be able to do what it was supposed to do. Yeah. Are you there? I can't hear you, Phil. I can't hear you. I heard you for a short bit there, and then are you... let me see here. Oh, no, wait a minute. I know what the problem is. Hold on a second. First of all, hold on just 1 minute. Because, see, this is why I said I'm only doing this as a test tonight. Come on. Jeez. Oh, okay, there we go. First, I got to go here, and I got to turn that off. Okay. And then I got to go over here, and I got to turn that off. And then I can bring you up. Are you there, Phil?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, okay.
Turn the echo off.
The echo isn't on.
No? Okay. No, okay, it's off.
What echo?
I thought I heard an echo for a second.
Oh, no.
It's just my solo. Maybe I had it turned up too high.
Yeah, something like that.
All right.
Anyway, so, anyway, what was I saying about last night?
You were saying you were trying to put on a show. The machine didn't have enough power to do what you wanted it to do.
Exactly. So, so we, it all of a sudden, all kinds of things happen. We Skype, what is it? YouTube didn't work.
YouTube had a problem, or we think that it did.
Yeah. And we were having problems with the audio on the and the video on Skype, and it was just, I think it's that this machine just couldn't take the load. So yeah. I've gone to this other machine, which is my old Mac, and it seems to have handled the problem. Earlier today when I was testing it, I kept going out of sync any time I started recording it.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think the Mini would handle it?
And then
my old Mini?
No. Then I realized why, and I turned the recording onto another way of recording, and now everything's really smooth, and we're all in sync, and
Yeah.
that was so. I thought I would test this tonight, just to see if it's working. As you can see, or as you can hear, I am just loopy.
Yeah. Did you set the templates up on this one?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
at least one template?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got 3, 8, 3, 6, 8, and 12.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, last night was one of the most frustrating nights I've had with GabNet.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, and it's my fault. Okay, it's my fault. Because I try to do too much with this show. First, all I wanted to do, first we did a TV thing out of a TV studio. Then I decided that I wanted to just, do an audio show, and we did an audio-only show. And once a week, we do kind of a video coverage of it. And one thing led to another, and now look at this. It's a full-blown fucking production that I'm having to do myself. And the more I do it, the more complicated it gets.
Because it's the better you make it.
Well, yeah. Let's see here. There's Jeff Stein.
I wanted to just
Jeff,
do it.
Jeff, you got to turn down your
audio off, Jeff.
Got to turn your audio off, Jeff.
Yeah, okay.
Turn your audio off. Off with the audio.
Sorry.
It's a full-blown fucking production that I'm having to do.
Wait, no, we still hear audio. Okay,
Yeah.
It's gone. I think it's gone. Yeah. Anyway, so we're. Yeah. Well, that's somebody in the back room. Let me see here. Let me do this, and then we can do that. And there we go. Yeah.
All right.
So it's all working fine, and it's not. I'm only using up 17% of the CPU on this machine, so.
The picture on Skype is very clear.
Yeah. So we solved some of that problem. So,
Yeah.
so at least if I have to, I can do it this way, until I get the other machine back.
Yeah. Did they give you any indication as to what had happened to the other machine, or that you just dropped it off and that was that?
There's some sound of audio coming back here, and there's nothing here that I have open that would be causing it.
Jeff, do you have GabNet website open? Or just...
All right, can you give me...
Oh, it's just the conversation in the background.
I guess. So I took it down.
It doesn't matter, Jeff. We'll live with it.
Yeah, we'll live with it.
Oh.
So
Now
anyway,
he's got to go to the garage.
Anyway,
Like most GabNet participants, we all wind up in the garage.
right? Because people who say they love you don't want you doing what you want to do. Anyway, so I went down to
Went down, yeah.
to them.
Aha.
To Apple. I was lucky because the last night I did what you do on Apple. You call in and you go in online and make an appointment. And I figured 2-3 days before I'd get a thing, and it said there was one appointment available at 12:30 today.
Well, that's why I that's why I wrote you to see if you had talked to them, and if they had given you any indication as to what was going on.
Yeah. Anyway, so I took the machine down, and first we did one thing and another. I'm at the Genius Bar, and it's having the problem. I get this yellow screen of death and things like that, and if I do a safe reboot, it works okay, but of course then a lot of things on the machine don't work because it's a safe boot. So, because a lot of drivers and so on aren't put in. We can talk tech tonight because nobody's gonna
That's what
watch
it's about.
this. No, and so he then what do we do next? Next, he ran a program to see what the problem was. Okay. Diagnostic, and nothing was showing up. And then he went and looked at the graphics card, the GPU, and nothing was coming up. But it also didn't. It was taking too long to do. Then he decided, well, let's reinstall. We'll completely clear out your
operating system,
HD and HD drive and everything like that. Because I have, somewhere here I have a backup of it, so it's no problem. And here's, they call them the genius bar, right? And he started turning this thing on. What happened to Jeff?
You lost him. He probably touched something and he'll come back.
Yeah. Anyway. So, we're waiting forever for this thing to go to what's called the recovery program, and he's using something from inside the Apple Store, and it should do it fast, but it's taking forever, and it's taking 10 minutes. Now it's taking 15 minutes. I'm going, the way I do it is I simply go online and download it, and so he said, well, we could probably do that. So we stopped it, and we went back in, and we pressed, I forget what it is now, Command, Option, R, and you hold it till after the gong, but then not after the Apple comes up. And the thing immediately pops up. Here we go, folks. Here's your recovery program. And then we erased the drive, and then we went and installed the program. And installing the program here usually takes me 35 minutes, something like that. Didn't come close to that. Took it like 15 minutes. It was faster than him trying to get to the recovery program his way. So,
why was that?
I don't know. Maybe he's not such a genius.
We know that, if he was a genius, he wouldn't be working at the bar.
That's right. So we then installed clean onto the machine, without anything else on that drive. The new operating system, and no luck. Yellow screen of death. Right? Okay. So he thinks it's probably has something to do with the what do you call it, the display, the graphics
card,
GPU. There are two GPUs in that machine, and if they both need to be replaced,
how much?
That and their $79 service fee, a little under $600.
If it was both of them.
If it's both of them. If it's only one of them, it's like $269 for one.
Yeah, I had a feeling that's. I mentioned something that was a few $100 additional for that speed graphics card.
Well, yeah, well, but if they're only $269, then the other one only costs $69 for them or something,
Yeah.
So anyway, I left it, and I said, "So how long is it going to take?" And they said, "Well, whenever they can get to it, might be a couple of days." And then they don't want to order they don't have the cards in the house. They have to order them out for them. So he said, if we order out for them, it's going to be a couple of days. So,
oftentimes they under promise and over deliver oftentimes I've found that Apple tells you a couple days and they get it right away.
Yeah, I found once they said it'll be about a week, and about 1 day later, I got a
Right.
message saying your thing is ready.
Yeah.
You know, so who knows? You know, I mean, meanwhile, I got this working. What happened? What happened to Jeff? He just completely disappeared.
I don't know.
If anybody else wants to call, folks, Gabnet Live, and you can just do it.
Maybe he had something going on at
We're
the
not going to
house.
do a full show tonight. You know, begin with this is bothering me. I don't know what it is. I give up. The weather is changing again. Is it supposed to rain? I don't know.
Earthquake weather?
No, it's. I learned that a long time ago. There's no such thing as earthquake weather.
Yeah. Until the weather changes and the dogs start howling, and then you have an earthquake.
Well, no, I remember the big earthquake, the Loma Prieta quake.
Sure.
We had back in, what was it, 89?
89.
89.
October of 89.
October of 89. Oh, here comes Jeff Stein again. I think he wants back in.
Uh-huh.
So we will bring him back in. There we go. There's Jeff. Okay, boom. You know what I love about this thing? He freezes, but then when he calls back and we get him in, he immediately goes into the secret square.
I don't know why.
Oh,
No,
you've got
th-
this set up on YouTube?
Yeah,
Let me get
yeah,
over to
yeah,
YouTube
yeah, it's-
with the other computer.
It's working, you know. It looks good.
Yeah.
You know, no problems tonight. CPU usage only at 20%. I mean, I'd like to have a lot of you call so I can put a strain on this machine. And then if this works, at least I know that no matter what happens with the other machine,
You get a backup.
I've got a backup that's fully operational. So, you know.
Yeah.
But what I was having earlier is what do you call it? A delay. When I started recording, all of a sudden I wasn't in sync, and I simply said, okay, well, just record the video off the stream signal. And so it's doing that, and apparently it's doing it okay. In fact, I'm putting it on a network drive, and it looks like, yeah, it's working just fine, you know.
Tip your hat off, and I want to see the delay on the YouTube. Okay.
What do you mean?
He's just checking the.
Well, you want
Time.
to see my new haircut I got? I got my
Yeah. Same here.
Huh? Oh yeah, no, you guys are in sync. Everything's in
And you
sync.
can hear me now?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's perfect now.
yeah. So so anyway, so I have this now on. Well, 2 machines, 3 machines actually.
It's a count of 32.
What's a count of 32? 32 seconds.
Yeah, the hat tip just came on the YouTube. So
Oh.
from the time you did it on Skype,
Yeah.
it was a
But
32
it
count.
could be different with him, with Jeff. It could be different with somebody else who's watching.
Oh, you mean the delay?
Do you know that 23 people watching us right now, and we're not even doing anything? I wasn't supposed to be on tonight,
Well, it just
Kiss your
goes to
hands.
huh?
it goes to prove if you do that paint drawing thing that you were talking about a few years ago,
Yeah.
then you would get thousands and thousands
Well,
of listeners.
I literally took a picture of a brick wall and the snow falling,
Yeah.
and that thing got like 1,000 views, and I went, what the fuck am I beating my brains against a wall doing this fucking show every night?
It just proves that there are only morons out there.
Yeah, yeah, but and actually,
But what are we?
now that I'm using this machine, I actually like this machine. I like this machine better
Really?
than the other machine.
Why is that?
Because I like the angle of the camera. I can look directly into it, And
Well, the camera's not in the machine, is it?
no,
So you can put the camera anywhere you want.
right. This is a 4K camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell. I mean, looks great.
Yeah. So listen, folks, you know, if you're out there, you know, anybody can call this program. Phil proved that years ago.
That's true.
And it's gabnet.net. It's Gabnet Live. That's all you have to do is just type in Gabnet Live and it'll come up, and then you don't even have to do anything anymore. It used to be you had to call and put yourself on a contact list and let me accept you. Now that isn't the case anymore. Dast I say, maybe I'm getting to like the new Skype.
Well, it's working for you.
Well, what it did is it forced me to do what you see on screen right now.
Yeah.
You know, that I was never able to do before. This actually looks better than the old Skype screen would have looked.
Yeah.
The only thing was, the Skype screen was easy. When somebody called and came on, boom, they were, because
It was simple.
all we did was we were showing the Skype screen. Now I've created this whole deal here, you know, which
You
reminds
actually have people that are on your chat on the
Oh, really?
YouTube.
Mike Allen, it's working great on YouTube, much better than no echo tonight. I made sure we turned down all those things. I mean, if you want to hear an echo, I can do it, but you know, it's a very simple process. I mean, there's just so many things you have to do. I mean, I have to make each of these templates with each of these individual places for people to talk, and then I have to make them all the same size. But I found a new shortcut to making them all the same size now. So,
You made a macro?
no, what you do is you take the first one and you say copy, and then you go to the others and you just go. I can't remember what it is. Paste, yeah, paste, and it immediately makes it the size of the other one, so that I could do it a lot. There's still no small way of doing it, but if you look, you won't be able to see this till we, you know, this is the 6, and this is the 8. Okay, they all look pretty much like they looked before. 8 looks like this. Okay. Oh, gee, Phil's down in 2 of them there because I have him listed there. And then that's the 8. And let me see here. Then we have the, this would be the 12. Okay. So, you know, I did them all today. So they look good, and they look like the other ones too. And actually, on this machine, it's working fine. I don't really need to make a big deal out of it, you know. But anyway, more people, if you can call, I would appreciate it, because I just want to put a load on this system to make sure that it will be able to take the strain and the stress of it all. Okay. So,
how many days do you have to? You know, they said 3 or 4 days?
No, they said it could be a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as long as I've got this going like this, if I know that I can do this and that I'm not going to have a trouble with YouTube, and you guys can hear me and I can make it work, then fuck that other machine, you know. But when it gets here, it gets here.
Yeah.
I just didn't think I could ever get this one working decently. But once I solved that problem today, and it took me forever, about, you know, tweaking it and so on.
Is that the cheese grinder or a different machine?
This is a cheese grinder, yeah. It's, you know something, it's funny, the trash can, which we call the other one, is so quiet that you never hear it. And if you listen carefully, if I turn my mic up a little bit, you can hear it, you see. Oh, here comes Vernon. Your pen pal, Phil.
Yeah, really.
Really? You got a pen pal in Vernon. Let me see here. Let me find Vernon Nunn. Here we are.
Hey.
Okay. And then I turn that on, and then I bring him in. I'm just going fine, you know. And You know, I decided that I would just do this like this. If we do an hour, we do an hour. If we do if it goes longer, it goes longer. You know. I took an ibuprofen, so my tooth isn't hurting that much. It isn't a tooth that's hurting; it's some kind of infection in here. So.
That's not the implant one?
No, this is the one they got to pull. This is the one that if they pull it, I'm not going to get it implanted because it's all the way back here. You'd never see it. You know, most people lose their teeth back here. I think my father had that same one missing. They don't. My business manager could easily afford an implant. Decided, fuck it, I don't want an implant. But what I am going to do is they have these little dentures. And you pop them in, and I want to get one of those because they're only $750.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Do you know how much it costs to pull a tooth now? Like
Probably.
$900.
Yeah.
To pull a tooth. Not.
I got a night guard because I was biting,
Marjorie
and
got one of those.
that was $700 or $800.
And our insurance wouldn't cover it. You know. And my my dentist keeps trying to sell me on the idea of a mouth guard, and I keep going, mouth guard this, you know.
It's made a big difference.
Yeah.
You know, I would wake up in the morning, my jaw would hurt.
Yeah.
And I was doing damage to the root on one of the teeth because I was punching at night.
I wake up, my jaw hurts in the morning, but that's only because girlfriend keeps punching me during the night while I'm asleep. So, you know. So anyway, so I had to take a Xanax last night, more than usual, to put me to sleep because this whole thing happened. Then I had to get up early to go to this thing. But it just amazed me that I was able to load in that thing faster than he could. He didn't know there was I said, let's forget this. Well, do you have an Ethernet here, right? He says, yeah. I said, okay, let's do it. And actually, it downloaded and installed faster than it does here for me here. Yeah. But it was wonderful. It's just wonderful. So, you know. Okay, we're waiting for more callers. Let's see, did that up our CPU usage? No, it went down a little bit. So, you know, we're
There's some sort of interference.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's just some kind of well, you're not using a phone. That's the kind of sound you used to get when there was water in the lines. You remember that? It would rain, you had water in the lines. So the two of you, Vernon, who is at the bottom of your screen, and Phil, who's at the top of the screen, have been sending me these letters they've been going back and forth with.
I wasn't aware that you were included.
Oh, yeah. Vernon's very good at keeping me in the loop. Yeah. And
Did he send me more?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But Vernon, how did this all start, Vernon? What were you arguing with Phil about that this? Yeah.
Well, if you recall the other night, he was talking about how Trump had this tremendous impact on the economy.
Yeah.
And I asked him to prove it. So he sent me a link from that right-wing bastion CNBC.
Yeah.
And supposedly there was a video included that said, yeah, Trump's had a positive impact on the economy.
Yeah.
So we went back and forth from that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, whatever news sources that I had looked up the other night weren't acceptable to the GapNet crowd. So CNBC was more acceptable than who knows what other ones I found.
Yeah.
Washington Post or something. New York Post.
The fact is, though, CNBC.
I sent it to you. Also,
CNBC is not necessarily considered a left-wing organization just because they're associated with NBC.
What do I have to do? Get it from Pravda to make you guys happy?
Let me put it this way.
Right from
To
Bernie.
begin with,
Yeah, right.
again, what you sent us was somebody's an opinion piece.
This one wasn't a. Well, I don't know what this one
It was an opinion piece.
Yeah. Everything's an opinion.
Well, you know, I mean, no doubt the economy has gotten better by measure. It all depends on what you want to consider it getting better. Okay, let me put that in the right context. Better is if you've got a job, things are better, and if you haven't got a job, they're worse. All right, for me, they're not better. All right, I don't know if for Jeff things are better. You know, they might be better for you, although you don't seem to indicate they're better for you. In fact, we haven't gotten your tax bill yet, have you?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff?
Yes, I can answer that. Our amount of tax that we had to pay this year, as compared to last year, it was 70 or 80% higher than it was last year. And nothing happened that, you know.
In other words, nothing was impacted.
No. Now, the other thing, though, is in the last couple of months here, the amount of investments have gone up tremendously.
Yeah.
But I think that's about...
Jeff?
It's about to run around.
Didn't you say that your wife several months ago got out of everything in the stock market? She sold before that downturn.
She did.
And when you do that, doesn't it put you, that profit then is taken and it's taxable in that year? So because she liquidated so many stocks into cash, that's probably why you got hit with a higher tax bill.
A lot of people are saying that they thought nothing had changed with them, and they thought that they would actually wind up better off this year and getting some taxes back and whatever, and that in fact, where they often got money back, they've owed money this year. Now, I have to admit, look, Phil, I have to admit, this was a good year for me tax-wise. For some reason, I got back about $3,000, where in past years I've had to pay out $5,000.
Rob Alfano said that he got more back after he did his taxes, and Patrick Blazik said that he got more back. And that now I haven't filed yet. I filed an extension, so I've got a much more complicated
what I'm saying
return.
Is that I don't think the average American is seeing a benefit of this. You're right. They got more in their paycheck every week.
That's true too.
But in the end, that didn't add up to the money they put out in taxes.
I think that's arbitrary.
Yeah, but
I also asked two of my kids how they do, and they said, "Oh, we got to pay more taxes this year."
They say the echo is back, and I have no idea how the echo could possibly be back.
There's no echo on the Skype. Let me.
Oh, there she goes. Echo,
I got no echo.
Huh?
There's no echo.
There's no echo.
Not either on Skype or YouTube.
It says Phil is slap backing. Phil is echoing. It says. And
why don't you check to see if I'm on double?
No, you're not. You're not.
No?
All the NDI things are not. Not up, so we're okay. I mean, you people want to hear echo. You might hear echo off of Phil now. Wait a minute, because let me do that. Now talk, Phil.
Okay. Well, like you said, with the tax situation, everything is arbitrary.
That was the echo you were talking about, folks. But otherwise we're not getting echo. I could listen to the audio here for a second.
So, this dog lover 18, Westy 18, says that the panel is louder than Alex. Do you have a way of evening that out?
I can back equalizing? You down.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But citizen panel is louder than Alex. Yeah. Okay. Well, not anymore. Kill right. The echo, says Matt Crash. Come on, people. You're hearing an echo? I have no idea why you're hearing an echo. That sounds ridiculous to me that you think you're hearing an echo when there's really
now I am.
No echo to be heard. Yeah.
Phil sounds like Ozzy. Oh, so the Matt Crash, he sucks too. But I on my thing the newest ones come out on the bottom. The chat, not on the top. Yeah. It's hard to figure out why.
Anyway, so I don't think I see anything that could be doing that. Let me see here. Here comes Scott Boddicker. Let me see here. Let me put Scott up here. Let's see here. He's not in there yet. Hold on a second. Is he there? No. Huh.
So. Alex, on the YouTube,
yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay, on the YouTube, you're very low.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will turn myself up higher.
And so you have to turn you up to hear you talk, and then everybody else on the panel is just blasting loud. So that's what some people are complaining about, and I've noticed it too. So I just thought I'd let you know that.
Why is Scott not coming up here on my little thing? Hold on a second. Sometimes
it's not there.
Did you change the template over to 6 or?
No. Here we go. There we go. Scott Boddicker. Sometimes it takes it a while for it to suddenly say, okay, But there's Scott Boddicker, ladies and gentlemen. Is there? However, do you hear an echo on Skype on YouTube?
Well, no. It's just that Phil sounds like he's in a submarine. He's
really.
It's very weird sounding. I don't know how to describe it. It's not an echo like we've heard before, but it's more of he's like in a cavern.
I don't know why.
No, you sound fine here, Phil.
Here, sounds great on Skype. So if people don't like it, they can call into Skype.
Yeah, really.
But anyway, it says echo is gone. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything, folks, to make the echo go away.
Well, maybe it was me. I don't know.
Yeah. Matt Crash says, I don't suck as much as you, Phil.
Well, thank you.
I can also read these things a lot easier now.
I thought you sucked a lot. You even had knee pads that you used to walk around with. You know?
Right, exactly. So anyway, I'm exhausted. I mean, that whole thing last night just threw me for a loop. So tonight I'm not even trying to do a show here, and it's actually going pretty good. Except for people who are saying we have an echo. I mean, if you
ignore that. Turn the chat off.
If you want an echo, folks, I can give you an echo right here. There we go. I'll keep my echo on for the whole show. I can change the echo. I can go to this echo, and I can go to that echo, and that echo.
When your echo is on, do we echo also?
Yes, you do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you do.
So. Equal echo.
Yeah. Russell 18 said the echo is gone. I have no idea why we had an echo because there is there's no reason that there was an echo. Okay. Because all those,
well, maybe it was an Alexa, not an Echo.
All those things are all the each individual picture has its own.
Scott blurred his background.
Yeah, I like that. I don't want
you really like that, do you?
Nice.
I got to remember this is a little off here. This is a little off on Scott. He's number 4, right?
Yes.
It's not it's not.
Oh,
I
you mean
see.
the size?
Yeah, I think I got to move them.
It's a little. It's lower.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's in the right position.
yeah. Wait a minute. I'm gonna move it up.
You know what it is? The size is right, but you have to bring it up higher on the template.
I know. I'm doing that right now.
That's
Let me
fine.
see here.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I think it's a little more. One more. Boop, boop.
Scooch.
That's just a scooch. Let me see here. Once I get this all set, then we're fine. Does that look good? Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, I'll let it stay there for the time being.
It's still low,
But
or either that or it's small. It's hard
My
to
wife
tell.
says it's small.
no, it's not. It's the same size.
Oh, you know what? I have to probably wait 32
Yes, you
seconds
do.
before
You do.
I see before I see it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So.
because of the delay.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, Scott's, it's better. If I need to, I'll change it another day. All right. Okay. Anyway.
So
Hey, listen, not bad.
Can I make a comment on the taxes, Alex?
What?
I just did my taxes over the weekend,
Yeah.
and I look at something called the TurboTax does the effective tax rate.
Yeah.
So essentially, mine dropped about 3%. So I'm paying about 3% less taxes than I did last year based on what I made. So
Yeah.
it did go down for me too.
It did.
Less tax,
Yeah,
less
well,
taxes
it went down
paid.
for me, but for a lot of people, all I'm saying is the economy is, just because you have these numbers doesn't indicate a lot of things. And part of that is, how happy are you?
Yeah.
Now you're
I'm
asking
so
for
happy.
a
I
lot.
think I'm in Norway.
I don't work, Alex. I'm extremely happy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wish I had my job. I love my job, but I'm happy not working too, and let my wife work, and it's great.
That blurring yourself out deal,
Yeah.
I tried to get it to work the other day and I couldn't.
Oh, where's the button for that?
It's under the it's the gear thing in the up. If you mouse over the gear thing,
Yeah.
and you go down to the audio video settings, click on there.
Well, I don't have a gear thing on mine.
It's in the top right, but I have a thing where I clicked it and it says window, float, audio and video settings. Yeah, okay.
Okay, and go into there, and then there's a button that you slide. Says the blur. Did you find it? It's easy.
I think I have to scoot down for it.
Where is it now? Did you say? I'm in.
Top right
Alex,
corner.
you have a
There's a
Mac?
gear.
Yeah, I have a Mac.
Okay.
I go to settings. All right. Now what am I supposed to do?
Audio video settings,
Audio,
And then-
video settings. All right.
and then the blur is the first button on the right side down.
The first button on the right side down. No, it's not the first button on the right side on mine. It says unmute for incoming calls. Run on additional device.
So my thing says video camera, and it shows the webcam that I'm using.
Yeah.
The
Show you.
920.
Yeah.
But there's I can see myself, like it's like showing the video.
Make it bigger. Make the window bigger or something, or slide it up. Maybe you don't have size.
I can't make it bigger. All I can do is slide up and down.
No, it
If I
doesn't.
had it here, I could show it to you.
Yeah. And then there's a thing that says microphones, another thing that says speakers, test audio,
Right
unmute.
above the microphones,
Huh? Oh, well, yeah. Under that,
right underneath the picture,
mhm.
there's a line that says "blur my background," and there's a button on the
No.
right. No, it's not there.
No.
Well, it is on Charlie's because he's the one that told us about it.
Yes, I must have the cheap version of Skype.
Mine doesn't say it. Mine doesn't say it. It's,
Okay.
Mine doesn't either.
Okay. Well, I got the latest Skype, so I don't know.
Well, I have the
I
latest
think I
Skype
do too.
Yeah.
Let's see, Skype about. All right.
What's my camera?
You're on the latest version,
By the way, I'm gonna change my audio
8.42.0.60.
I'm going to change my audio for a second. Can you still hear me, everybody?
Yeah.
Can you still hear me okay? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I just set this for the USB input.
Hey, Phil, what Skype you on?
It said it was the newest. Let me look again.
It's
8.42.0.60.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Well,
Now, under this, there's a thing that's when I went to About, there's an audio and video, and it brings up that same thing that the gear brought up, but there's no blur.
Huh.
yeah.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's there on mine.
Are you using your camera in your computer?
Yes.
That might be the difference.
Oh, okay.
Alex and I are using a
External.
C9 something webcam. So our webcam may not have the capability
It's
of
got to
doing
be
that.
software
But
driven.
mine's 4K. Well, the one you're seeing me on isn't 4K.
I thought yours was
This
Special
is 4K.
K.
Yeah. This is 4K. Yeah. So
Have that for breakfast?
Yeah, really.
we're not even broadcasting this. This is not going out over the audio on.
That's loud, Alex low. Okay. Oh well.
What?
More comments. I'm too loud. I was talking too loud.
Scott's too loud for now. Let me see here. What do I have to bring myself up even further? There. How's that, folks?
Testing.
I don't hear any difference.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I think it's better now.
Huh?
You're a little louder.
I'm a little louder.
Yeah, which I think is good.
On Skype, you were all even.
As
There was
compared to
no
Phil.
there was no issue.
I'm just doing what I can hear. In
Maybe
my
these people are
earphones.
fucking with you.
Yeah.
Ever notice that Alex took a shower? Did you take a shower, Alex?
No.
That's what someone else said.
What?
Who's Billy Bob Joe Jackson or something? Anyone notice that Alex took a shower? No.
No.
He always looks the same.
But if you want me to, it's in the next room. I can go take one. More.
It would be about time.
Okay. And someone says we sound the same now. Okay, I'll quit talking now.
Echo is gone. Listen, I didn't have that many problems. Oh, shut up.
I've been trying to do that all night to you. But he's using headphones, earphones.
Echo, fuck you. Oh, she just went. She's alrighty. See, I can't even talk. Don't people just don't write me about echo because I have it so it responds to echo because the other way that it responds is to Alex, and that's not good. Yeah. So.
Can you have it respond to other things besides those two?
Huh?
Like asshole or,
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I don't know where you find that, to tell you the truth. Supposedly you can do video settings under the camera. Let me see.
Yeah, but my camera doesn't have that particular option.
Yeah, but
I have a Logitech camera settings.
Yeah.
And if you go to advanced settings, there's only its brightness, contrast, and white balance.
Yeah. Well, I can't blur myself out. The main picture here I can't blur out because this is just, you're not getting a Skype picture from me, folks. You're getting all these guys.
Oh, on the YouTube.
But actually, you guys look spectacular on Skype.
Fantastic.
Especially when processed through the NDI program. So.
Oh, you all look wonderful.
And Scott, now we don't have to see how messy his apartment is. And you can change the amount of the blur, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, really?
No, it's just on or off. It's just a.
Boy, they must have been jerking themselves off when they said, "Look what I can do with. I've got it so they can blur themselves now."
It's like I shut my what on my camera.
Good.
From what I understand, it blurs the center. It's like using a
No,
filter.
not really. It blurs the thing that's closest to it. It
Right, but
unblurs
you
that
see if he
that's
moves
closest
his hand
to it.
out
Wait a minute,
out
hold
of
on
the
a second.
camera a bit.
Just take your hand and move it up a little bit.
It's blurred.
No, it doesn't.
It's
blur.
in the blur.
It doesn't blur.
Yeah, yeah. Look at his thumb.
Now, the further back he goes, it blurs, but it doesn't blur the foreground.
Yeah.
Yeah, all having an exciting time, folks. That's good.
This is interesting.
You get a lot of. You got 26 if you watch paint dry.
What? You got a 26 if you watch paint dry. Well, people didn't think I was going to be on tonight.
Yeah.
You know. And for all intents and purposes, I'm not on tonight. This is just, I'm just, you know,
Test.
Yeah, basically, I won't do anything tomorrow night. What I wanted to do was to do this, and we could use some more callers, folks, so that we can see with the more traffic we get, if that slows down my throughput to YouTube, because tonight YouTube has not crashed on us or even come close to it. And we're completely in sync and everything's working beautifully, and I want to make sure that it will work beautifully when we've got more people. So all you do, Gabnet Live, and I'll pick it up, you know.
Yeah, I think you're in good shape.
Yeah, yeah. Could you guys talk to each other and let me run in the other room? I made myself tea, and then I never went and got it. So just talk
down
to each other, okay?
All right. Oh, hey, Vernon. Had you done your taxes yet? And was there any difference?
It's in the process. I have an accountant who takes care of that since I had a small business at one time, and I've just stayed with him. But I did help my daughter do hers, and the federal refund went down about $150, and the state that she owed went down about $150. So her net was exactly the same.
Here I am again,
Yeah.
folks.
All right.
See, you can see how thin I've gotten over the years. I'm not the same old fat fuck that I used to be. So,
A friend of a customer of mine.
Were you talking about anything in particular?
Yeah,
that
just taxes.
I should know about?
Nah. A friend of mine went on a keto diet since January and lost 60 pounds. He went from a 46 to a 36 waist.
Yeah.
And he said he did it because he said the way he did it was that he was out and about most of the day. And he said that going to lunch and eating out was very, very difficult to lose weight and to maintain the diet. So he showed me this bag that allows you to carry 5 or 6 lunch portion or meal portions in it for the whole day.
Yeah.
So, and it's got these ice packs and so forth and shelves in it. So I bought one this morning. And what you do is you prepare the keto meals, and then they're portionized as well as you're eating the right stuff. And if you start to get hungry, you don't want to chase the hunger.
Yeah.
You need to eat before you're hungry, and and then you'll actually start losing weight.
Well, the
Because
keto diet is
similar to
pretty
Atkins,
much
right?
the low carb diet.
Right, exactly.
And it's just somebody who decided to merchandise the low carb diet into a thing called the keto diet. The idea behind the diet,
Is to get to ketosis.
is to go for your body to go into ketosis,
Right.
and then you lose weight. I don't know that I ever achieved ketosis.
When I did Atkins and was successful with it, I never did either. But I had lost weight. I got a program called My Keto. And what happens is it's on your phone.
No, that's a fan. It's a fan app for people who are fans of the Green Horde, and it's
yeah, okay.
the Keto.
Yeah, keto. Well, anyway, what you do is you press a button and you just speak into it what you've just eaten. And it tells you how many carbs, how many fat grams, how much protein, and how many calories. And it keeps track of it every day.
What's it called?
It's called My Keto. It was not free. I think I paid $39 for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's way too much for an app.
Well, if it makes me healthy, MYKETO, and I think you can try it if you want to, just see if you like it. I liked it,
Well,
and so far anything that I've eaten, it has recognized.
Really?
Yeah, I had.
How about pussy?
I haven't eaten a lot of that lately, but I had some Indian food the other day,
Yeah.
and I said chicken marsala, and it was boom, it came up.
Well, it should for $39.
Yeah. But it seems to work. I mean, I've spent $39 on a lot of other stupid stuff. If this one makes me healthy,
Oh, I wish. Oh, here. I've got my iPhone here. Okay.
right?
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Echo, how many net carbs in potato chips?
1 ounce of plain potato chips has 15 grams of carbohydrates.
Okay, so that cost me $39. That's the small one, the dot.
Yeah.
And she does all of that.
The problem is it's not keeping track of what you're consuming all day. And so, a friend of mine always said, what can be measured can be managed, and what can be managed can be improved. So if you can measure what it is that you're doing, it's nice to know how many carbs is in this or in that. But if you have an easy way of keeping track of it, then you have a chance of success and managing your diet.
So anyway, Scott, we haven't seen you lately. It's nice to see you.
Well, it's good to be here.
Nice to see you when Phil's here.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's a Phil-free night, but I'm not going to be here either. So
Tomorrow? What?
It's going to be a Phil-free night tomorrow night, but I'm not going to be here, so it doesn't matter.
Where are you at? I'm sorry. Where are you going to go?
Well, I was
taking a trip.
I was going to take 2 days off because of just the frustration that I've had in the last couple of days with this whole thing fucking around and doing stuff like that.
I couldn't find last night's show. I had date night.
I didn't post it.
Yeah.
It was such a clusterfuck.
Okay.
In fact, I did post the video of
video. I found the video.
First 40 minutes
YouTube
or something, and I hear it starts breaking up as we get towards the end of it. And I think on the thing, if you go there, I said, this show is a clusterfuck.
I'm glad I slept through it.
You were very lucky because I didn't, and I was just. I mean, what happened was at 6 o'clock, this other machine decided to fuck up, and immediately I had to somehow prepare my PC to do it, and the PC was the wrong machine to do it on. I would have done better just to pull that Mac, bring this other Mac in, and do what I'm doing now. Because we're only 16% of CPU usage. I need more people, folks, because I gotta put a stress on this system.
How come you stopped using the cheese grater in the first place?
Because I've got the other one.
No. You stopped using it before you had the other one, right?
No.
Okay.
No. I used it to the end. They call it the cheese grater because it looks like you could grate cheese on it.
On the case. It is one of the most beautiful machines I think I've ever seen.
You know something though? I've got this Mac Pro, the new Mac Pro, and by the way, I found out today mine was made in 2014.
2014. Yeah.
Yeah. So even though,
but they still say it's a late 2013 model.
Right, but this is late 2014 that it was made. So. That's what happens when you buy something on eBay for cheap. you know. But if it's only going to cost me another $500, I'm still well ahead of the game because I've got an almost $8,000 machine. But the thing went wrong. It went bad, you know, and I hope it goes bad again right after they fix it, because the second time they fix it, they have a policy at Apple that if they have to fix it again, they do it for free. So I hope they have to replace everything in it.
Yeah, you did all right with that other one, the Mini.
Huh? Yeah.
You did all right with the Mini.
Yeah, the Mini, because it turned out to be a logic board as well, and they replaced the logic board. They thought it was just the hard drive, and it turned out to be the logic board or something, so they gave me a logic board for free.
Now, you plugged it into the wall without a one of those shock devices,
Yes, I did.
and that's
no.
when it blew.
No, I had a surge protector, and sparks came out of it.
Out of the surge protector.
Yes,
So there's something wrong with the surge protector?
I guess.
Oh, those have warranties that if they screw up your equipment, they'll
You know, and I
take care of
think I know what maybe caused this problem that I had today.
Yeah, what's that?
Was that I was using a program that Livestream sends me called Livestream Studio to try and see if I could start using that as the switcher of the show, because it's very sophisticated and so on.
You still have live stream?
Yeah, and so I can have this program. And I was playing with it and blah, 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 blah. And after I was finished playing with it, immediately the machine froze up, and that's when the whole thing happened. So I'm going to write them and say, your fucking program screwed my Mac, and you better look into it to see what's wrong with it.
I don't know how a program could do it unless it was...
Well, no, but it could have something that it does that threw something off and, you know, blew the...
Well, don't use it again.
Huh? Well,
So you're still paying $600 a year for live stream?
huh?
You're still paying $50 a month for live stream?
Yeah. I'm probably going to stop doing it. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of money. I only kept it so I could have this live stream studio to use, and I don't really care.
It cost you $600.
OBS, this thing that's free, is fine. I've never had a moment of trouble with it, you know. And my CPU usage is now at 20%, so this works pretty well. But I need more callers, folks. I know that a lot of my regular people felt I wasn't going to be here tonight. So anyway, you and Vernon have been going back and forth, fighting with each other.
There's no fight. I was
and I'm
very
telling you,
nice to him.
Vernon, you're very intelligent and very well informed. Vernon, are you awake?
He's muted. He was.
He's muted.
He's muted.
He may be informed, but he's mute.
There you go.
No, but you're very
I'm
informed.
mute, but I'm not dumb.
I like the stuff that you write. You know, it's far more literate than what the idiot boy up here has to say back to you.
What did I say? I say he was a very nice guy, and I appreciate his thoughts. What did I say?
Well, let's share with the group, Alex. Why don't we do that?
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead, share.
You're gonna have.
Well,
I gotta find it.
Basically, I was telling Phil that, you know, yes, Trump has had an increase, or there's been an increase in the economy as a result of some of his policies, but the article that he sent me on CNBC had a caveat, and it said, "At what cost?" And I kind of went back to Phil and said, "Yeah, I am scared that this is all going to bust, just like it did in 2008, just like it did in the 90s, when everything seemed to be going all gangbusters. And, you know, in 2008, I lost a bunch in my IRA before I could convert it to cash. And I'm afraid the same thing might happen to my wife's IRA. And, you know, somebody who's in retail like Phil, I can appreciate the fact that he's, you know, benefiting from some of these things. And I can understand that, and I can appreciate that he's looking out for his best interests. But what's going on in the economy right now is not benefiting my best interests, and he should appreciate that.
Yeah.
I was so angry with him. I wrote back and said, "You are a thoughtful person." I said, although
Yes,
I don't
you did.
agree
I
with your
saw it.
position,
Yeah.
I believe you're genuinely concerned. And I want to thank you for taking the time and effort to respond to the article that I sent you. My purpose was to provide a news source that would be acceptable to you and the others who wanted news from only like-minded outlets that they trust. I was asked what Trump did for the economy. The article provided that information. I sent them an article, unsolicited. I said there are many roads that lead to Rome. I believe Trump's roadmap is the right one. We all want what is best for our nation, and unfortunately, many in our government want power at great cost.
You see,
Because
the larger question, Phil, is what has he done?
Well, I don't understand why my answer was so moronic. You know?
Well,
I thought it was a classy response.
Well, the one thing I disagreed with, though, is Phil's talks like the only thing Democrats want is power. Yes. Republicans want power just as much, and the problem I have with the Republican power is that they can't convince a majority of the voters in this country that their ideas are the best. So they go through obfuscation and they do voter suppression in order to stay in power. Democrats don't do that.
I closed my little letter to you, which was, why do the people we send to Washington, and that's both Republican and Democrat, start in many cases as regular people and finish as multimillionaires? It's hard to do on a public servant's salary. And
I don't disagree with that.
And so I didn't say that the Republicans or the Democrats were free of being in government and only looking out for themselves. You know, if they're public servants, they're supposed to do the job. They get paid a reasonable salary, and but what's happening is they were looking out for themselves. How much money can they raise for their reelection? How much money can they get from this lobbyist or that lobbyist? What's in it for them? Whiffum, they call that. What's in it for me? And so I don't like big government, and the bigger the government gets, the more I dislike it. And I believe that Democrats like big government. You know, they want government to do everything for the individual.
I think, Phil.
Well, this Democrat does it. Okay, Phil. But you've
made that clear.
I want an effective government. I don't want government so small that big corporations and rich people can walk all over it and the government not have a response to look out for the best interests of society as a whole. I don't think what's best for Jeff Bezos is necessarily best for me.
No, but you're making an assumption that that's what will happen if
I see it happening.
If you take the money out of, if you don't allow these lobbyists to get their voice heard rather than the constituents, you shouldn't allow this money to go to these guys and deal with this reelection stuff. I've always been of the opinion that there should be no reelection, that you should only have one term, make the term a little bit longer, you serve your country and get out. And
then I guess you certainly fly in the face of that theory, Phil.
How is that?
Because, well, you were hoping Netanyahu would win again. Do you know how many terms he's served so far? 5
now.
Yeah.
This is his 5th.
Why don't you say that it holds true for Netanyahu?
It does, but this is not reality. It's not what's happening. It's what I would like to see happen. But I also, the devil that is is sometimes safer than the devil you don't know. I felt that Netanyahu represented what I wanted to happen in Israel, and I felt that he was safer.
For a crook to be president, you shouldn't want that.
He's not a crook. He took some cigars. He took cigars, and they're making a mountain out of a molehill. They're trying to do to Netanyahu what they're trying to do to Trump, and what was Netanyahu accused of, and what is he being investigated for? Cigars. He took cigars. He was given cigars. He smoked them.
I have one thing there that you just, the little ditty that you just did sounded a whole lot like what Elizabeth Warren has been talking about, and that's the corruption in the campaigning that we have to go through in this country. And I agree with that premise. There's too much damn money. There's too much corruption, and let's get rid of it all.
And how would that happen? My theory is if you don't have a re-election, you can't. You're void of all those things. Plus, they let them keep the money so that they can invest it in other people's election cycle. So it used to be that if you ran for an office and you raised money, that you could keep it and keep it for yourself. Now they changed that, and you can donate that money to the DNC or the RNC or other elections or your own re-election for other offices. I don't think that ought to be allowed either. That you run, you get elected, you do your job, and you get out. It would be like a cop taking money from people on the street. As far as I'm concerned, that's the lowest thing you can do.
But you know what turned that loose, don't you?
No.
Citizens United. If we didn't have Citizens United, you wouldn't have the money flooding into these campaigns.
Wasn't this happening long before that? There have been lobbyists.
There was limits. There were limits, though. There was limits on how much you could contribute until Citizens United.
Yeah.
Please excuse me.
I don't. Citizens United was a lobby effort that was successful for them. And there might be some other things that they do. I haven't heard a lot about it lately. I know that a lot of people don't like Citizens United, but I'm of the ilk that I don't want any lobby money to go to any politician.
I think everybody should get, who's running for office for say the presidency, gets a given amount from the government. Okay. And then you run using that, and that we don't have these multi-billion-dollar races going on.
But Alex, what do you have to? What does the government? What's the criteria for this guy getting the money and not that guy?
Well,
for instance,
I think that anyone who we have to figure out what legitimacy is. It could have something to do with their particular party getting a certain percentage of the vote in the last election. Although, I'm willing to give everybody, $1.50 and say that's what you got to spend.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing we kind of overlook, one thing we kind of overlook is why it takes so much money to run a campaign nowadays, and it's because the FCC did away with the fairness doctrine.
Yeah. If you put a candidate in that the media likes, the media can give him more coverage like they did to Trump. They didn't like him. They thought he was a joke, but they thought that it was increasing their ratings. So even if you just limit the amount of money that each candidate can spend or can raise, then you could have the media slanting which candidate gets the free media.
Well,
if it wasn't for the media, Trump would never have gotten elected.
Well, the media, Trump ran perhaps the cheapest campaign of anybody.
That's because he was given free press.
Yeah, and I blame the press for that. Just like you blame the press for a lot of things. My main gripe is he knew how to use them. He knew how to play the game, and he did. He did big time.
I think he just lucked out. I don't even think he knew how to play the game. I think they gave it to him. I think they thought, hey, this could never happen. Let's have some fun. Let's screw with all of them. Let's support Trump. He can't win, and he fooled them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Somebody here, Forbin Colossus, says, Phil, how about former oil and gas lobbyist David Bernhardt as Interior Secretary? Corruption guaranteed.
All right. Hey, the guy got elected. He can pick who he wants. You know, you don't like them, don't vote for them.
Do you want the Secretary of what is it? They named what's his name? The guy who was the Pizza King.
Herman
Cain.
Herman Cain. What does he want him for? He wants him for something.
The Federal Reserve, but you know he was on the Kansas Federal Reserve. This is not his first go around with the Fed. He has Herman Cain has experience there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy that wanted to give us 999.
Yeah, probably would have been a good idea.
You know, 2012, his campaign slogan was 999.
What was it?
Yes, 27% tax.
Stan?
No.
It's Becky's Stan.
Yeah, right.
999. He was saying no, no, no in German.
Nobody else wants to call. I'm sorry I said I wasn't going to be on tonight. Okay, but I really.
Hey, it's safe. I'm going to go pee.
I'm only doing this to test the system. You know, and so I need people to fill up these squares. You know, last
You
night,
can just put us in multiple squares, Alex.
Yeah, well, I could do that. Sure, that's possible. You know.
Yeah.
It's very,
You just clone us. Clone us into additional boxes.
Here we go. You want an additional box, Vernon? You got it. Here we go.
I'm not watching YouTube, so
there we go. And there's two Vernons now.
I don't see any difference.
Huh? And
I'm not watching it on YouTube, so I don't see the difference.
It's still coming.
Huh?
YouTube's
probably
behind.
a 30 second.
Yeah, and now let's see here. Oh, let's go to. Well, here comes Phil. So what we'll do is we'll simply add Phil. So now we can see how 6 look. Now, if you don't want to see 2 Phils and you don't want to see 2 Vernons, you know, you better do something about it now.
Do a song and dance here, Phil.
Yeah, well, you know what you can do is if you get on, it'll knock off a Phil, and you can increase it by 1 Vernon. How's that?
There you go.
Yeah, we could do that, but I'm trying to test this. What do you know? It's still hanging in there. CPU's not going crazy.
Yeah.
So this is a different machine, Alex?
This is my old Mac. And I last night I couldn't get it into service fast enough. Mainly because I was missing some wires. Phil was.
Oh, did you pick up that mini to mini?
Huh?
You pick up that mini.
I got a. Well, I have a mini to mini here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't find one. I somehow made one available. You know, putting this whole thing back together once I get the machine back is going to be a pleasure.
It always is. You know, I eliminated a whole bunch of wires, and I have them over there in the corner, but I'm not missing anything. I don't understand. You know, there were wires that were going to nowhere. And
yeah.
I'm
feeling my lump back
tooth.
there. Yeah. I'm taking some antibiotics I have in the house, so maybe that'll help.
Mm.
If not,
get it pulled.
Off to dentist land. Yeah, get it pulled. Let me see here. So, and nobody else is going to call, huh? Okay, all right. Have it your way. See, I can end this show anytime I want to tonight. Mainly because
there's a good comment. You might want to read it, Alex.
What?
There's a good comment in the comments section. You might want to look at it.
Oh, is that
double the fill, double the fun?
No, up higher.
Yeah, 2 deuces for the price of 1. 2 dunces for the price of 1. Excuse me.
Price of none.
I haven't got my glasses.
I resemble that. I resemble that remark.
I think they were talking about me.
I don't think they were talking about
They were talking about Phil too, but that's okay. I thought it was funny. Okay. I'm easily entertained though.
And these glasses are dirty.
I call into the show.
Yeah.
I gotta clean my glasses so I can actually use them. I don't know where my other glasses went.
Those readers?
I'm so out of it tonight. I'm amazed that I'm able to even do a show.
Yeah, those readers.
It was between his tooth bothering me and the. Yeah, these are Costco specials. Actually, I
Yeah,
have
let's
some-
just sign off and go to bed.
What?
I said, let's all just sign off and go to bed.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, I'm waiting to see if anybody else calls so we can try and fill up more slots. Because
Just go to the next one and put in 2 Scotts and 2 Jeffs.
well, you see here's the other one we're trying to fill up. See, so
Right, those readers.
yeah. What did I go to the trouble of doing this many for? I didn't. I only had to do 6.
3.
Well, I did the 6th one.
Yeah.
That I do. So
Well, call this a full house and don't let anybody else on.
yeah, that's right. That's correct. But anyway, so this is working fine. We're not crashing. The picture looks terrific. So we're all right. Let me get rid of the 2 extra
Yeah.
people.
Scott's a little fuzzy in the background.
Huh?
Scott's fuzzy in the background.
Yeah, is Scott's fuzzy in the background? Yeah, Scott is very fuzzy. Well, see, if you have more light on you, Scott, then we could really see the fuzziness.
Well, I sit in the front window of my house, so I don't want my neighbors staring in at me too much.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, this one you don't have as much property around as the last one?
Well,
Well, you had like 5 acres in the last one.
no, it was only a half acre.
Oh.
But I sat in the back of the house, so too. My office was on the
Yeah.
pool
How do you
side.
like the new place?
It sucks, but that's okay.
Yeah.
My wife's happy. That's all that matters.
Sometimes you sat outside.
Yeah.
What?
Did you get a good price on the other one?
It still hasn't sold. I
Wow.
hope it doesn't sell.
Turn
Yeah.
up the volume, Alex. The volume is fine. I'm looking at the volume here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll turn it up a little higher. How's that? They're always
Why don't they
complaining.
just turn up their volume?
Yeah.
They're not balanced. Alex is low, and the rest of us are too high. So it sounds like we're yelling, and Alex is
Well,
whispering.
actually, I'm louder if I look at the meter here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm only going by the ears I was hearing beforehand, and apparently that's what they're hearing now. So
Are we all coming in on the same pot that Alex is using?
No.
Oh, so we come in a separate pot?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, how loud do you want me, folks? Do you want me this loud?
wake up your wife. Be quiet.
maybe you got to go into your equalizer and boost some of the things on the board.
Yeah. Well, who knows?
Somebody said something. What?
Yeah.
Phil is too high.
I didn't smoke anything.
He didn't, and volume is okay to me. So
Here, folks. Stop already, okay? The reason.
Well, this is the test. This is the
reason
test.
Phil
You need
looks
to be-
good, sounds louder. Phil, tell
It
him how
says Phil
much
is
that-
always too loud just by talking.
No, tell him how much that microphone cost you.
Well, I bought this used, but I think they're around $500 new.
Yeah, that's a very professional microphone. Let me see here, Scott. How much did you pay for your microphone?
I don't know. It came with the computer.
See, there's the difference, folks.
1995.
I've got 2 of them, and it's called a Rode Broadcaster, and you can actually there's a cable that it'll tell you when you're on air, but it's a professional studio thing. It's called a Rode Broadcaster.
Yeah.
Rode is a
Why do
microphone
you
company
have
out of
2
Australia.
them? Why do you have 2 of them? Are you planning on having a guest?
I've had guests.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah.
We just lost Jeff.
This is the second time he must have touched something or something's going on with his Skype.
Yeah.
Earlier in the program. That
Oh, well,
happened.
I'll just leave him there frozen. I could leave him there frozen in all the other squares if I wanted to.
He hasn't said much anyway. He looks like he's still here.
It looks like he's been quiet. I finally had to tell Damien tonight. I was listening to a show, and he says, And what you do is you call me, and then I see that you called, and I call you back, and I can get you into the group. And I said to him, just click on that gray button, and you can get people to join. You can join people to the group. And I think that's a new thing they've done, because I don't remember it being there before.
It wasn't. You know, you and I were experimenting with something, and I said, I'll hang up and call back and see how you can add it. Yeah. And you said, oh, wait a minute. Here it says add to the group, or add to.
Yeah, but
it didn't say add to the group. It said something.
I had never seen that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know. Well, we still have a half hour left, or we can hang up and say goodbye now.
I think it's not a bad idea. I don't think anybody else is going to call. If they were going to call, they would have called.
Yeah.
Unless you want me to put a shout out to the usual suspects.
Well, you know, I don't know who are the usual suspects.
Oh, you've got Pat, you got Rob, you know.
Yeah.
I think Rob's been watching a lot of baseball, probably.
Oh, is it baseball season?
Yeah.
Okay. I never know what season it is.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here comes Jeff back again. I don't even have to find a thing for him, because watch, he will suddenly. Oh, great! This thing decides to keep telling me that I have to fix something here. So every time somebody calls, we don't get a ding ding.
Yeah. Oh,
what happened to you, Jeff?
I'm back.
What happened?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Jeff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What happened?
I think I just turned it off
on
Skype.
Just don't touch anything.
It's kind of fun to press all these buttons. See what happens.
Well, the problem is there are too many buttons here.
That's true.
Yeah. But oh, hey, now I know how I can remember people's names. I can see them all.
They've been here.
Yeah. Well, you see, I don't use that. I'm using my little.
Oh, I see. On Skype, they're there. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you mute somebody else? So you said they could.
You could you go over to them.
Yeah.
And I think, well, there we go. I have. Well, I won't do it. I'll do it to Phil.
Yeah, I didn't want to mess it up. But
Phil knows.
I didn't see how you
Phil,
could even.
I'm going to mute you, Phil. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
You know how to unmute yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to mute him now. Talk, Phil. You just hover over his picture and then right-click on it, and there's a mute button, and it says.
I'm going to spoil the mute.
Yeah.
I'm no longer mute, just deaf.
What you do is you yourself, if I were to mute you.
Oh, I see that.
Well, don't give that. Keep that secret.
You can unmute yourself. I'm going to mute you again, Phil. There we go. Now he's.
Sometimes I just need. There's too much Phil. I just need to quiet him down. Now I know how to do it.
Yeah. Well, anybody who that's a death penalty crime on this show.
Yeah, but I can unmute myself.
It's a death penalty crime on this show. Doing
but you won't know who did it.
Huh?
You wouldn't know who did it, would you?
No.
Well, that's true.
You'd have to death penalty everybody on it except for the person that got muted.
Yeah, I guess I would have to do that. But,
Yeah.
you know, also when somebody mutes themselves, there's some kind of sign that goes up. That's
Yeah.
like,
Well, no, when you muted me,
yeah.
there was a sign went up on my little square.
And what did it say?
It was the mute sign.
The microphone with the
Microphone
X
sign,
to
yeah.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Here, let me see what happens when I mute myself.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing when you mute yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the same sign that I got when you muted me.
Yeah, these are all the wonderful things that Skype has created so that I have no control over the program. Although I could probably, no, I guess I could. I don't know.
It looks like there's a down arrow next to Phil's name also, and everybody's name, I guess.
Yeah.
Does that do anything?
I don't know.
Let me see here.
I didn't want to touch it.
Oh yeah, if you click on it, you can either mute, remove from call, see the
same thing as
full video
right
feed, send a message, or view profile.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't want
anybody here could remove someone else.
Right.
That sucks.
Well, you've got nice people here, and unless it was some of these morons on the chat, nobody here would remove anybody.
I wish. You know what I wish were really better is Google. What's it called?
Plus or groups.
Hangouts.
Google Hangouts. Yeah. Because, but it isn't. That's the problem. Because I was looking at that as a possibility over Skype, and it isn't that good, and it's so bad that Google is dumping it.
Oh, wow.
Isn't it good for like a presentation where you got like 20 people watching a speaker? Even though they can interact, I think that it's more to put information out, not to interact.
I thought that was GoToMeeting.
Yeah,
I was pretty good with that, but it's been a long time since I did any meetings online. But
there was something a friend of mine uses called Zoom, but I don't know.
Well, here's something we could bring up: Julian Assange.
Oh yeah, he got dragged out of the embassy today.
Yeah, kicking and screaming.
Now they violated. He said that they violated the agreement because he provided information or something.
No, he broke into the emails of the ambassador.
Of the Vatican. It was the Vatican emails, right?
No, the Ecuadorian.
But he was in the Ecuadorian embassy.
Yes.
And I think that I'm having trouble remembering this. I think that today, or they violated him for hacking into the Vatican emails.
I thought it was the Ecuadorian president's server or something, emails. No. I didn't hear it that well. Why would he break into the Vatican? I don't even know if they use smoke. They don't use emails.
No, it was something to do. I think it was something to do with the sexual misconduct things or something.
Well, that was.
See if I can find it.
When he got arrested for it, the United States had him arrested, and they want to bring him back here. But unfortunately, the charges they have against him are so nothing that probably he'll just skate with a tongue lashing.
I don't know that they're nothing. They're saying that he conspired with this Chelsea Manning.
Yeah, but they say that's very hard to prove. It's very hard to prove.
He was just being a journalist.
He was. Yeah, I mean, the fact is though that once they get him here, they probably can't find him guilty of anything, but they can then turn him over to. Where's he from? Norway, Scandinavia,
Sweden.
Sweden, I think. He fears being beat up in a U.S. prison.
Now he knows it's going to beat him up. You see how big he got?
Yeah.
What did he put on?
He hadn't done any exercise in 7 years.
Did he put on weight?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he makes Phil look small.
Yeah, thanks. Let's see if I can find any information on it.
And he looked like he looked like the Unabomber or something. He had this,
Yeah, he's lost a lot of hair. He doesn't have the hair on his top of his head anymore. But he's got a beard.
All I know is how did he spend all that time in the Ecuadorian embassy, for Christ's sake?
7 years.
Yeah.
They had good food. Okay, he was led out in handcuffs. Let's see if I can find the reason for their.
It's the Chelsea Manning thing.
Well, no, that's the American thing, but they couldn't get a hold of him until he lost his not diplomatic immunity, but his ability to be in the embassy and not be arrested.
Why did Ecuador get rid of him? Not that. If he stayed at our place, we would want to get rid of him too.
Well, he violated their agreement on hacking, and but I'm trying to see who he hacked that violated the agreement. Let's see. Ecuadorian government has ended his asylum status, saying it was tired of his discourteous behavior, poor personal hygiene.
Yeah,
and he was smearing feces on the walls.
Well, that would do it.
I guess it also cost their taxpayers £13 million. It's a British jail.
That's a lot of food.
It's not, and it's not like Ecuador is the biggest country in the world.
Yeah. It looks like Sweden renewed the rape investigation.
Do you know where Ecuador is located?
South America, right?
Yes.
Where is it located, Phil?
I thought it was South America, down by Brazil. No?
Nope.
By Brazil.
Think of the name of the country.
Ecuador.
The equator, I guess.
It's on the equator, yeah.
It's just south of Panama, I believe.
Yeah.
Colombia.
So, yeah.
And next to Colombia, yeah, and yeah. But it looks nice.
Well, apparently Julian Assange is never going to see it.
No.
Gee, everything's going smoothly tonight. Wow. Yeah. Unlike last night. If I wasn't so fucking tired and I didn't have this pain in my mouth, I think I'd be fine.
So I guess he 24 hours after WikiLeaks.
What?
WikiLeaks accused Ecuador of extensive spying operation, adding it assumed intelligence had been handed over to the Trump administration. Oh wow, he does not look good.
He doesn't get along with others.
He doesn't play well with others. Yeah. That's I'm not finding a lot of stuff. Here's the complaint from the United States against Julian Assange for
it's Assange.
They said he's a very narcissistic guy.
Yeah.
I'll mispronounce his name. And I guess Chelsea Manning, known as Bradley Manning.
Yeah.
So they're looking for the top secret things that were shared and then published on WikiLeaks.
But they say that they really don't have a lot on him. But what they do have is that once they're through with him, they can hand him over to Sweden. And and then he's got to stand trial there for that.
You don't think Sweden will get him first?
No. Oh, no. No. Because it's the United States that had him arrested.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to love this one. What is it? The lawyer, Avenatti.
Oh, yeah. He had 36 felony counts.
36 felony counts, yeah.
Yeah.
They say he could go to jail for 300 years.
Yeah, not if he runs for president and wins.
He's qualified.
Maybe that's why he wanted to run.
He's qualified, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm getting all plugged up. That's probably why I'm aching and hurting. I think it's a sinus infection is what I've got here.
Yeah.
It's Assange is more black hat hacker than Edward Snowden's white hat intentions. That's a very good statement by Foreman Colossus. Short, chubby women, you could rest your martini on their head. Putin will poison Assange and shut him up and cut the connection. And Scott Boddicker, how do you have time to write these people, Scott, and talk to us at the same time? Boy, you're the multitasker.
Well, it's either that or listen to Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best stuff you can get.
Well, Phil hasn't had much to say tonight.
No, he's been good. He's been actually pleasant.
He's been pleasant.
I'm always pleasant.
No, you're...
Apparently you didn't hear Jack's show last night.
I was on Jack's show. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
He called me. He called me. I guess calling me and arguing with me.
But he called you?
Is better than
What is it? The world's first radio call out show?
All he had was Mike Allen. I mean,
so he got desperate.
Yeah. And the reason he's got Mike Allen is because I threw him off this show.
Yeah.
Mike came back to life.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of a sudden, yeah, he disappeared for like a month and didn't let anybody know where he was. If I were Jack, I would have been pissed off at that.
I thought they get
Was
to
it 2
call
months?
out once in a while when they're on that work furlough program. You know.
Yeah. Anyway, boy, we got this. This looks pretty good. This whole little deal here. Yeah, it's working out okay. And we haven't frozen up, and I bet it's recording good. And it should be cool. Should be cool. Should be cool. Let me see here. We got a few more minutes left. Let's see. We got the black hole. They found this black hole.
No, they generated some sort of computer program that showed the black hole, but is it really the black hole, or is it just some sort of simulation?
They took a photograph of the black hole.
How can you photograph something that's not there?
I mean, it's easy to photograph a black hole. Here comes the cheap joke. Take Oprah, for example.
Yeah.
And by the way, things go in there, and they're just completely demolished like a celestial black hole.
Mm.
Ask Stedman.
Yeah.
I met him once, by the way. I interviewed him. Nice guy, really nice guy. And they've been together forever.
Yeah.
Forever. You know,
so. Here's a headline on Drudge: Naked women lead cops on high-speed chase.
Saw that.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Did they catch them?
Yes.
Yeah, I hope so.
Did they put the cuffs on them?
Well, I didn't get that far on the thing. I just looked at the headline.
Yeah.
Scott, what did it say?
Well, I didn't read it on Drudge. I saw it on Yahoo or something. But it said they were three women in Florida, and they were out air drying after showering in a rest stop at a. So they were out just standing around naked trying to dry off, and the police didn't like that, so they.
Yeah. There's the three women's picture. Are on this site, and they all look like convicts that escaped from a detention facility.
Yeah. I have an idea here. Hold on a second.
Oh, they were putting on suntan lotion.
Well, yeah, they took a shower and they were drying and putting on suntan lotion, but they should have had their clothes on at the rest stop, I guess.
By the way, this doesn't look like there's many people missing now. Although I've got to move Scott up here, but it's yeah, that's okay. I got him in the number 5 spot. Let me see here. Let me see here. Move him up, and I'm trying to.
Oh yeah, that looks.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. Okay. All right. See, now it doesn't look like I'm missing as many people that way. Right?
Oh, the Israeli moon landing failed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they crashed.
Yeah, well, it was some sort of engine that was supposed to slow it down.
Yeah.
And the way they did it was they put the thing into orbit off of one of those SpaceX things. Mm-hmm. And rather than shooting it up directly there, they took the slow route by continuing to orbit until it got into the moon's orbit. And then
was this an Israeli or?
Yeah, it was an Israeli satellite that was done, I think, in conjunction with SpaceX. So SpaceX was the vehicle that brought it up and put it into orbit, and then that orbit continued to...
I love SpaceX. I mean, finally you can rent a rocket, you know?
Yeah, and you just leave it on the sidewalk wherever you want, you know, like those scooters.
Yeah.
Bird scooters.
Yeah.
But, no,
or those bicycles that...
I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty terrific, if you want my opinion. I love what they've done. And I think the most spectacular part of what they've done isn't the fact that they sent sent stuff to the moon or whatever, or they're sending stuff up into space, but the fact that they can have it land on a launch pad.
Yeah.
You know,
that was impressive.
Oh yeah, the two on the side.
It's very impressive. Yeah. Very impressive.
It seems as though there was a government challenge that if a private company could put something on the moon before a certain time, they'd get $20 million. Well, this particular Israeli project didn't make the timeline, but if they had landed, they would have gotten $1 million. And the cost of this launch was $100 million.
Yeah.
So
it landed. It just didn't land very well.
Oh, it didn't have a soft landing.
Everything lands.
Yeah, I mean it landed.
Well, the engine was supposedly pre-programmed to put out the thrust when it needed it, and so forth, to give it a soft landing.
See, I told you that Netanyahu's no good.
Yeah, well, I don't think he had anything to do with this moon landing thing. It was private.
It was private.
Did you know this? Netanyahu, is an American.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was born in Brooklyn.
So was I.
Yeah, he was born in Brooklyn, and he was named after two major companies, Netscape and Yahoo.
I knew it.
Well, he was on hand to watch the landing of Benjamin Netanyahu, and it says Israel will continue to try landing on the moon.
Why?
Why?
What are they going to do? Sell bagels up there? What the fuck are they going to the moon for?
They'll send the Palestinians.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I'm a Jew, and I don't. Yeah. My idea, and I've always.
That's their idea of a two-state solution.
Yeah.
Yeah. To the moon.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, they'll colonize it, and the Chinese actually landed on the moon, and there's been a number of
the dark side of the moon. They went to the dark side, though.
Yeah. What was that album?
The Dark Side of the Moon, Phil.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what was the group?
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd. Okay.
Pink Floyd. Yep.
But I don't know how they get a signal back from the backside of the moon, though.
They only were able to exist there, I think, for a limited period of time. Oh no, it was the Israeli craft was only going to stay there for a limited period of time because the sun would have burned it up. The amount of heat that gets generated.
Dark side would freeze, I guess.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting. El Al, passenger tries to jump out emergency door. I guess it wasn't on that particular thing that went to the moon. Think El Al will have passenger flights to the moon?
I don't know why they're going to the moon.
Yeah.
The Chinese are trying to get there. The only people that aren't trying to get there are us.
Well, we've been there.
I know
there's
we've
nothing
been
there,
and we should have.
Why go back?
We should have stayed there, but we never did.
Yeah, aren't there minerals or something that's on the moon?
Oh yeah,
I would imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know what the moon rocks were made out of.
Play-Doh.
Well, no, I mean, there's we just, it's like we went there and okay, we did it. Goodbye. What a stupid activity,
Well, in '66, the Russians put a craft there, an unmanned craft, right?
Yeah.
And so the Americans, I guess, were concerned that they were falling behind in the space race.
Yeah.
And so it was only 3 years later that we actually landed men on the moon.
I see. Okay. All right. But I just think that we should be doing. We should have stayed there.
Well, how long?
As long as it took.
Yeah. What would they have done? I mean, I guess their effort was to be the first to land there.
Yeah.
And they left a whole bunch of stuff up there that I wonder if they'll retrieve. There was a Hasselblad camera and some other stuff.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that these things were the same size, and they are. Okay. Let me do that, and let me do that. Okay. I'm just making everything nice and pretty. Maybe I could bring Scott down a little bit here.
You quit fucking with me?
Yeah.
Hey, we bring them down every time I say something.
Okay. I think that's about the best we're going to do. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. I'm just fooling around with stuff, folks, because that's what I was supposed to do tonight. So that's why I'm here.
Did you put Scott in the number 5 position?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the size different?
No, it is.
Looks different.
I checked, and the size is supposedly right.
All right.
Maybe it's because it's dark.
Let me see here. It's the same size probably as you. 507 by, let's see here, 507, yeah, by 290.
Mm.
Yeah, 507 by 290. Let me go back to Scott here. What is he in the number 5 position?
Mm-hmm.
Scott, 592. What is it, 590 and 207?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me see here. I will. 590.
I think the height's off.
207. Wait a minute. 507 and 290, right? That's what I said.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, no, it's the same size.
Yeah,
As you.
all right.
Yeah.
It's an optical illusion.
I mean, I can work on it. You know.
That's because of his hair.
Huh? Yeah. Oh, well, you know, we've kind of run out of time here. I don't actually
that
have
nice?
to, I don't have to actually get out on time. This was just going to be a test. But thank you, people, for not allowing me to completely test it. But so far, we're only at a CPU usage of 22%. So.
Well, if you have to use it Tuesday, then
yeah,
you'll
we'll be able to.
You'll see.
Hey,
Right.
thank you very much, Phil. Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Vernon. And thank you, Scott. There's nobody next over the same station because I'm not doing the audio. But if you want to go over to our audio, Jack Bishop will welcome you and want to hear from you as well. Meanwhile, I think it would be very nice of the panel as they are sitting there to all wave goodbye to you, and I will wave back. Okay? All righty. Bye-bye. See you later,
Bye.
guys. There we go. There's our citizen panel for tonight. I will unceremoniously hang up on them. Okay? And I will cancel out of that. And let me see here. Let me also, I'll just quit it. Okay? I'll quit Skype. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I'm Alex Bennett, and that's the Ramble. We were testing it for tonight. I will not be here tomorrow night. I was supposed to take tonight off, but then I just had to make sure that I got YouTube working right. In the meantime, we'll be back again probably Tuesday, right here, right after Damian Chaplin and the Exchange. He's here at 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time. And then at 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, we'll be here, as I like to say, same time, same station. And in the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye.